All right, today we are talking about the game that's got everyone buzzing, Resident Evil Requiem. It's a game trying to pull off this incredible balancing act, trying to be two completely different things at once. It's ambitious, it's packed with action, and yeah, it might just be the most terrifying one they've made yet.
I saw this quote from Eurogamer that it nails it. The pendulum swings back and forth, and that's really the key to understanding this entire game. It's all about this constant, deliberate swing from one extreme to the other. That idea is at the very heart of the whole experience.
So that really begs the question, doesn't it? I mean, this franchise has been around for 30 years. It's a legend. So how in the world does Capcom make a single game that's supposed to be for everyone? How do you please the old school fans who crave that slow, creeping horror, and the crowd that's all about the high-octane action of RE4? It's a huge challenge.
Well, their solution was pretty brilliant, actually. They decided to split the game right down the middle, building the whole experience around two totally different characters. One's brand new, and the other, well, he's a face we all know and love. And this is where you really see that split personality in action. Look at this. On one hand, you've got the new character, Grace Ashcroft. Her parts are all in first person. It's classic survival horror. Everything about it is designed to make you feel anxious, vulnerable, just completely on edge. But then, you switch over to Leon S. Kennedy, and everything changes. Suddenly, it's third-person action horror. You're powerful, you're confident, and yeah, let's be real, you feel super stylish.
Grace's chapters are a total love letter to the original games. It's exactly what Eurogamer said. They're meant to evoke the classic horror where you have to carefully use scarce resources to survive. And they mean it. When you're playing as Grace, this FBI agent investigating a new outbreak, you are absolutely not some action hero. No way. You're hunting for every single bullet, you're hiding, you're just trying to get by. Even the reload animation, it's just this nervous, fumbling check to see if there's even a round in the chamber. It is pure, distilled anxiety.
And then, just like that, the pendulum swings back. You're playing as Leon, and boom, the whole vibe just flips. I love how the critics put it. Creative Block called it a bullet-riddled ballet, and PC Mag said it's like John Wick cutting through a crime syndicate. And that's exactly what it feels like. You're pairing, pulling off these insane takedowns. You're basically a one-man army clearing out rooms that, an hour ago as Grace, were your worst nightmare. It's just this incredible power trip.
Okay, so you've got these two wildly different ways to play. But what about the enemies and the world itself? Well, this is where Requiem gets even more interesting, because it's not just the heroes who got an upgrade. The threats and the places you explore have evolved in some really, really smart ways.
This is one of my favorite things about this game. The zombies, they're not just your typical mindless monsters anymore. They have habits. It's like they remember little pieces of who they were. You've got some that are attracted to light and will actually try to flip off light switches, plunging you into darkness. Then there are these blindfolding ones that hunt you purely by sound. And it gets weirder. You'll see former maids still trying to clean, or cooks still chopping at meat. There are even singers who can unleash this terrifying screech. It's not just for flavor either, it completely changes how you approach every single fight.
Oh, and you better believe the game has ways to keep you on your toes. Just when you think a room is safe, you've taken everyone out, and you can finally relax, nope, the game hits you with the blister head. This thing is a zombie you already put down. It gets back up, only now its head is this huge, bloated, explosive sack. It's a brilliant and absolutely terrifying way to punish you for getting complacent. It's like the game is saying, you're never, ever safe.
And the levels themselves do the exact same thing, that same back and forth between old and new. You kick things off in a place called the Rhodes Hill Medical Facility, and it is 100% classic RE. Think Spencer Mansion, tight corridors, locked doors, creepy puzzle box vibes. But then, later on, the walls come down. Literally, the game just opens up into this huge semi-open world Raccoon City. It goes from a claustrophobic box to a massive playground.
Okay, so gameplay is a tale of two halves. But what about the story? What's the glue holding it all together? While the plot itself is kind of a requiem, just like the title says, it's all about wrestling with the series' past, digging into big themes like legacy and survivor's guilt.
Yeah, that Requiem in the title, it's not just a cool name, it's literally the whole point of the story. The central mystery is about the original survivors of Raccoon City, who are now dying under strange circumstances. It's all about that trauma that's been lingering for decades. And it's personal for our heroes. Grace, our newcomer, is actually the daughter of a survivor from the old Outbreak games. And Leon, he's not just some agent on a job. He is haunted by what happened in Raccoon City. It really feels like the writers wanted to finally close the book on those old stories, the whole Umbrella saga, and set the stage for something new.
So let's recap. We've got this wild mix of first-person horror, third-person action, super smart enemies, and a story that's all about looking back. It is incredibly ambitious. The big question is, does it work? Did Capcom pull it off? Let's take a look at the verdict.
And right away, yeah, the numbers speak for themselves. An 88 on Metacritic, that is a seriously strong score. The critics, by and large, absolutely loved it.
Now, to put that 88 into perspective, check this out. It actually scored higher than the last two big entries. It just beat out Resident Evil 7's 86, and it's comfortably ahead of Village's 84. So you can see this really clear upward trend for the franchise. They are on a roll.
But, no game gets a perfect score. When you dig into what the reviewers were actually saying, you start to see the pros and the cons. Pretty much everyone agreed the visuals and the atmosphere are just incredible. They raved about that balance between horror and action, and said that playing as both Grace and Leon was a blast. But, on the other hand, a lot of them felt the story kind of falls apart in the back half, calling it sloppy. And some common complaints were that the boss fights were a bit repetitive, and maybe it leaned a little too heavily on nostalgia.
So what's the final takeaway? I think the best way to describe Resident Evil Requiem is like a perfectly produced greatest hits album. It's not necessarily breaking new ground, but it's a super polished, super confident celebration of everything that has made this series great for 30 years. It really honors that legacy.
And that kind of leaves us with one last big question to chew on. After all this time, by looking back and mashing up all the best parts of its history, the pure horror, the blockbuster action, has Resident Evil finally found the perfect formula to carry it into the future?